We have warm, humid days and 3 days of rain. These two weather conditions favor black spot. Can you get rid of black spot? How do you treat and prevent black spot on roses? Hold on to your thought. Be right back. Hello happy YouTubers, Marcelina here will teach you how to treat and prevent black spot on roses. Diplocarpon rosae, also known for black spot, is a fungal disease that affects roses. Signs and symptoms: leaves turn yellow and drop off. The disease can be found on the leaves and also on the stem. If it is severe, it weakens the rose plant. A condition like constant rain and warm humidity is a perfect temperature for the fungus to grow and germinate. The question is, can you get rid of black spot on roses? The answer is no. However, you can treat the disease and control or prevent its spread, which I'm going to cover this information with you, and also I'm going to show you how to spray your roses, what chemicals I use here in the garden so you can apply these chemicals to your roses. And also before the end of the video, I'm going to give you an extra bonus of information, so stick with me all the way to the end. All right, how do you avoid this fungus from getting into your roses? Coming up, I'm going to go over some gardening requirements here to help you avoid black spot on roses and prevent the fungus disease from transferring to neighboring plant. But before we continue, if this is your first time here, start now by subscribing and clicking the bell so you don't miss anything. Also, always open your notification so when I upload new video, you will get notified. All right, let's move on. The number one basic principle or basic practice for growing roses is hygiene. This includes cleaning the surrounding area and make sure that the base of the plant is clutter-free. Remove some leaves at the base, especially leaves that are touching onto the soil. If you grow a lot of roses in the garden, distance is important. Allow at least 3 to 4 feet apart. Don't overcrowd your roses because overcrowding is a good environment for the fungus to grow and thrive. Give your roses good air circulation. Remove any branches that are crossing over the center. If you notice black spot on the leaves, make sure to remove right away. Like what I did here, I always check my roses, and if I see fungus disease on the leaves, I remove right away. So I bring a bag, and as you can see here, I place some infected leaves and branches, because if you don't inspect your roses all the time, what will happen, the black spot is going to control your roses. And if it is too many, you would be overwhelmed removing them. When you take care of your infected roses, make sure you wear gloves, and it's not good to remove all those infected leaves with bare hand. I would suggest you guys to protect yourself, because if you don't, the thorn, the fungus may present in the thorn, and then if you poke yourself, the fungus or disease will get into your system. So keep safe yourself. All right, so let's talk about treatment and what chemicals I use here in my garden. There are so many commercial spray that you can choose from, but I have two products here that I'm going to introduce to you guys. I use liquid copper. This is another fungicide spray, and Neem Oil. Now, I use a lot of Neem Oil in my garden, and there is a direction in here. Make sure that you follow the direction, because if you don't, you end up harming your roses. Now, make sure that when you spray with Neem Oil, you spray in the morning, not in the late or not in the hot weather, because this oil is going to harm the leaves or cure the leaves. So make sure you do it in the morning, and also do it in the late evening. So what I did here, I spray my roses in the morning, and also I spray in the evening. And you do this in 7 days cycle. And I'm going to show you how to do it. so you guys can follow these methods of treating your roses. I have video how to mix neem oil spray. I would encourage you guys to watch that video in addition to the information I give here on this video. If you are using a quart bottle spray or a gallon spray with neem oil, make sure you read the label at the back. There is a direction how much oil are you going to mix in a quart and how much oil are you going to mix in a gallon. Use Dawn as your emulsifier, or you can use any botanical product. So I'm going to use a gallon spray here, and make sure you shake the chemical so it mixes the content. So when you are going to remove the infected leaves, use gloves. You can use your hand or a clipper, but it is easy to remove by hand. See that? And make sure you don't drop it on the soil because you don't want to spray the infected or the fungus. And now time to spray. So when you are going to spray your roses, this is what I do here, and I just like this spray. So you spray from the top like that, and below the leaves. Make sure you spray well. So you do this in a 7-day cycle, and if it rains, you might have to apply it again because it would not be effective if it rains. And always use 100% compressed neem because it is effective if you use 100%. My rose, look at that. It's so beautiful. Isn't it? Look at that. Look at the flower. It's so intense red flower. This is Europeana, one of the most disease-free, cold-tolerant rose I grow in my garden. And this is a perfect environment for this plant because of the clematis hanging over. It gives protection for the rose, especially during hot summer. So if you guys don't want roses that are magnet for fungus disease, I would recommend to grow roses that are disease resistant, meaning roses can fight against fungus. They can still get disease, but they are not getting as many. They are controllable. Roses I would recommend like Johann Strauss. Johann Strauss, you don't see it anywhere, but you can see it in my garden. You can also grow Plum Perfect, Europeana, and Atlas. Atlas is beautiful rose to grow because it doesn't need spraying or doesn't need heating because plant cleanses itself. You can also grow knockout roses, especially for beginners. Knockout roses are great in the garden because they don't need a lot of work. They are very susceptible to fungus. So those are few roses that I would recommend to grow in the garden. But the most important thing in the garden that you should apply is the principle of gardening, which is the sanitation. Sanitation, sanitize your hand if you use hand, and sanitize your gloves, sanitize your pruners. Everything has to be sanitized to avoid fungus getting into your garden. No matter what you do it for the best of yourself and also for the best of your plant. I cannot stand my roses get infected with disease. If I see infection going on, if I see bugs in my roses, I would jump right away. It doesn't matter if it is bugs or disease I'm dealing with, or I'm tending a dying plant. I have a video on that, how to tend your dying plant. I would recommend you guys to watch that video. It's a good video. So it doesn't matter what I do, I have to jump it right away, because if I don't, those fungus or disease overturn or over control my garden. I am in control here, or you are in control in your garden, not those fungus, all right? So if I don't tend your roses and I'm here teaching you, and you see my roses infected with so many black spot or mildew or infected by bugs, what kind of teacher I am teaching you the right way? Or what kind of gardener I am when you see my roses, especially behind me, infected with so many black spots or any kind of diseases? I would not consider myself as a good teacher or I would not consider myself as a good gardener because I neglect everything what's going on in my areas. So always keep an eye of your garden. Try to avoid overhead watering because if you water at the top, what will happen? Water is going to splash the soil, and then soil will get into the leaves and then infects the roses. I would recommend to install irrigation like what I have here in the garden. I install irrigation around the perimeter. Irrigation system is great, not only good for your roses or for your garden, it is also good for you because it limits your activity of watering your plant, and also it minimizes your watering and also minimize your water bills. So this is a good system to have in the garden. Now, always remove dead branches or dead leaves from your roses. Always take care of your roses. Roses are beautiful. They need a lot of work. I'm telling you that because you have to prune in the spring, you prune in the fall, you do dead head in between summer, so it repeats bloom. You check the pH so it can take good nutrients, all of that. So it needs a lot of work. But in the long run, they're so beautiful. It gives you joy. Like my rose here, look at that. It gives me happiness. And also, if you have a healthy, beautiful rose in the garden, your friends, when they come to your garden, they will be amazed how beautiful your roses are. So always keep the entire area clean. Now, bonus for you guys, bonus information, as I promised. Neem powder. Apply neem powder in spring and fall. What I did to the neem powder to my roses when I did my pruning in spring or in fall, like what I did last spring. I hope you guys watched that video where I applied neem powder. You spread the powder onto the soil around the base of the plant and also around the surrounding area. After you apply it onto the soil, you cover with wood chip. Make sure that the wood chip is not close to the stem of the plant. You allow 3 to 4 inches away from the base because you don't want moisture getting into the stem and then it rots the stem. So allow distance. You apply onto the soil, and also after you cover wood chip, you apply the neem powder on the top of the wood chip. This is going to minimize the spread of the fungus. And this is the bonus. I hope this video helped you guys. If you have any question or comments below, and if you need products like neem powder, check the link. And if you need plants, check the link also. So if you enjoy watching this video, guys, give 1,000 likes and share the information with friends. This is for today. Marcelina here, Cashew Greens. See you next time. Grow green and grow big.